probably unsurprising that an enormous amount of magical technology has grown up around protecting children from Lilith. The first line of defense, as I mentioned just a moment ago, was, just don't have kids from overly fun sex because that seems to attract her for whatever reason. The second is carefully watching children, making sure that their behaviors, specifically that when they're playing alone, especially smiling and laughing to themselves while playing alone, don't let them do that. They're just playing with Lilith and she's going to take them to their doom, often by drowning them, interestingly enough. Remember, she's associated with the sea. Also, babies that smile or laugh when they're sleeping are said to be playing with Lilith, so you have to wake them up immediately. All the while she's playing with them, allegedly, she's pressing her soul into theirs, stealing it away forever. Remember, she pressed her soul into the cherubim. Children taken away by Lilith are worse than just dead. They're thought to not even be able to see the heavenly Cheder, heavenly academy for children, given that Lilith has put her impurity in their very soul. She thus nourishes herself on the purity of the souls of children until the husk. So truly horrid fate for children and parents. So, predictably, an entire amulet and incantation literature against Lilith has developed over the centuries, mostly focusing in on the very short incantation, Aden V'cha. Go Lilith. Along with the talismanic end. Pursued her, Senoi, Samsonoi, and Ocean. Those amulets, they all have the book of the secrets of God. Very day, testifying her endearing power to terrify. Is also tied up with her greatest act of seduction of God. According to the Zohar, with the destruction of the temple and by the Romans and the exile of the Jewish people, the imminent divine feminine consort of the divine, the Shekhinah, go and comfort them. With the queen, the Matrizal, the king is to have become attached to the Sitra Achra, and is thus coupled with a thus bound and seduced by Lilith herself. This absolutely shocking idea was accepted and developed by famed Kabbalists like Shlomo Alchemist, composer of the wonderful, beautiful song for Shabbat, Lecha Dodi, a song precisely bride. Lilith will bring of the Messiah. Israel will then come out of exile. The true divine queen will be restored, and the Sitra Achra, the other side, will be either eradicated, redeemed. In some narratives, they're mercilessly slaughtered, though in more subtle narratives, more true, I think, to the logic of Kabbalah, in my mind, the forces of Sitra Achra will find their own form of restoration and redemption. And perhaps truly flower into a being as captivating as Wisdom of the Zohar. If you want to go check them out there, although not all of them are collected there. Of course, the series probably needs While Judaism has many monsters in its folklore, there are texts that all of Jewish mysticism. The Sefer Yetzirah, or the Book of Formation. This book has had a massive debated by Kabbalists, academics, and ritual practitioners, both as a spiritual practice and as an area of academic research. It isn't vaguely Southern Europe exactly where it developed, or the people responsible for its early development. Both and used in literature are polysemic, inconsistent, and sometimes downright contradictory. Seemingly technical terms, sometimes from paragraph to paragraph. The major figures seem to have always followed a time signature. So what are we to do? I think to take a look at the text of the early Kabbalah on their own terms, rather than reading the Kabbalah back on them. But it's imagine that each one survived on their own individually, raising concerns. When and who wrote them? In this episode of Esoterica, or History of the Kabbalah, by exploring these questions and more as we turn to the enigmatically but mystically packed Sefer Yetzirah. I'm Dr. Justin Sledge, and welcome to Esoterica, where we explore the arcane side of history, philosophy, and religion. set Bereshit is basically discouraged. It is surprising, therefore, to see that one of the central texts of the Kabbalah, nation, of not just exploring, but expounding their issue. The Sefer Yetzirah is a book. It's only about 2,000 words in an average Abraham. Given a later quasi-magical understanding of describes the quote souls that he made in Haran. The literal reading of text that Abraham made the souls in Haran prompted some rabbis to ascribe to Abraham mystical powers. Hence the link with the Sefer Yetzirah. It's difficult, probably impossible, to ever recreate an or text, if one ever exists. There's no scholarly consensus about when it was composed, with solid arguments urging dates away from the turn of the Common Era to when the text first appeared in commentaries in the 10th century. So it was written sometime in the first thought. Now, it's really helpful. I'll provide the date that I what might be the earliest mentions of the text can be found in the Talmudic literature, two rather man knew that it was, quote, from the sages, from sorcery, and then ordered the man, quote, back to your dust. After this, the previous story of Rabbi Hanina and Rai is repeated, with them now studying, quote, between Hilchot and text, if discrete is typically more vague. It is typically found to describe to be done properly, or the laws are loose, describe the customs and laws around ritual mourning. Possible that one could entitle a book in such a manner. Regardless, already by the time of the Babylonian Talmud, say around 500, if not earlier, again in creation, but this might allow the righteous godlike power over creation. Though it is possible, perhaps even likely. Further, we can't know if the texts or customs described in this section of the Babylonian Talmud are the same that have come down to us in the recensions that we now call the Sefer was entitled Sefer Yetzirah in the Babylonian Talmud doesn't mean that the book that's come down to us is in fact the same, but it's certainly intriguing just the same. Before we leave, there's one more important section that will become 55b, the account in which God has described Moses how to build the Mishkan, or tabernacle. Moses then takes these instructions to the craftsman Bezalel, reverses the order of creation for some reason. As you may remember, Moses was never that great at speaking. Anyhow, here, Bezalel actually corrects and follow the completion of the Babylonian Talmud. Judaism enters a kind of temporary dark age, where surviving manuscripts of any kind become spare, and this This likely has to do with the political conditions of the Near East at this time, given the military conquest of Islam in the region. To stabilize, however, Jewish literature reappears in Spain, and it is in that period that the Sefer Yetzirah appears today. First, as you can see on the screen, there's a wide range of estimates and contexts given various scholars. Personally, I'm very convinced by the work of Zaki Weiss, who locates the matrix of the Sefer Yetzirah in a his comparative analysis, which are similar and adjacent to the Sefer Yetzirah, both in form and in content. Though I do think that the Sefer Yetzirah is reaching back into the Gnostic context, for reasons that I'll discuss in a moment. The debate about the matrix of the Sefer Yetzirah isn't going to end anytime soon, and I encourage you to read Weiss's work along with the 8,794 other theories about the origins of the Sefer Yetzirah. But that's where I'm sure in the future further, I'm convinced that the Sefer Yetzirah is around the line between being a scientific philosophical text and the text, which some obscure means provide quasi-magical powers to performers. The same way that I read Maimonides as guide to the perplexed, as being at least in part a polemic against the Merkava Hechel of mysticism. Merkava mysticism, check out the card above. I've made a separate episode just on it. In this way, I see the early scientific philosophical commentaries on the Sefer Shabbatai synagogue in Cairo, where the hundreds of thousands of fragments were stored there for nearly a millennium. The recensions of the Sefer Yetzirah that have come down to us vary in length, from around 1,300 words in the short recension to about 2,700 words in the longer recensions. It looked like prior to the 10th century isn't clear. Several recensions are already circulating by then. But after the 10th century, basically the most popular, evidenced by the mountain of commentary and meta-commentary literature that has appeared in the last 1,000 years. I should also say that the closest thing we have to a critical edition of the Sefer Yetzirah refers to the manuscript situation as, quote, textual chaos, because it isn't enough that the text is among the most enigmatic in history, but even the manuscript situation. Welcome back. The best argument for an or text of the Sefer Yetzirah has been made by Peter of 931 as the closest to the one found in the Cairo Geniza earlier. 9 includes a bit more material that seems to have been appended to the text early on in its creation. I'm electing to base this episode on Vatican Manuscript 299. But checking any interpretive work I do against Hayman's conjectural earliest recoverable text. This allows for a bit more flexibility. The Hayman reconstruction on getting too far away appears clearly as something novel, the word is one phrase. The problem being that the word doesn't make anything any clearer. This word is also mysterious. It occurs only once in the entire, therefore making it a hapax legomenon, and it only appears in the book of Job, a work already filled with enigmatic Hebrew words. So just to get started, the situation we have only used once in enigmatic books of the Bible. Fantastic. I should also point out that whatever the Sephiroth Belima are, we should be careful to note the system of the Kabbalah as it's developed in the sacred period of the development of the Proto-Kabbalah, even to be. They are in fact 13 Sephiroth, which makes a bit more sense, given that God is typically thought to have 13 attributes in classical Judaism. So whatever the Sephiroth Belima are in the Sefer Yetzirah, they do not yet appear to be the hypostatic emanations of the later Kabbalah. Belima. It appears from the text that they are numerical ontological principles, very similar to those found in Pythagorean and Neoplatonic forms of speculation. We'll call it the Tetrachus with a sacred symbol for the Pythagoreans. And 10 has a sense of completeness in the thought of someone like Proclus, as of entities or correspondences. In the first place, there are the dimensions, or the ketzavot, the extremities as the text calls them. These are two dimensions, beginning and ending, two moral dimensions of good and evil, two absolute spatial dimensions of above and below, along with the four cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. This is followed by a second set for lack of a better word. Which is permeated in various ways and then used to seal the extremities or the ketzavot of the various aspects of the universe. Using the cardinal and absolute direction. This appears to logically synthesize the two. You may be wondering why the text four-letter Yod Hey Vav Hey name for removed for reasons again that aren't terrible, thus leaving a more primeval name Yod Hey Vav. This more esoteric divine name is widely attested, however. We see this name appearing in the Greek Gnostic text as Iod Alpha Omega. To link the sacred Yetzirah of Hexalith mysticism, and I think further the magical/Gnostic literature world. This should be unsurprising. Interested Gnostic. The sacred Yetzirah, much like the Hebrew Bible, is fundamentally a reflection of the will of the Creator, and thereby the good. From this statement, capping the two enumerative schemes, the Sephiroth Belima are never mentioned again in the sacred Yetzirah. At this point, attention to a systematic, though idiosyncratic, analysis of Hebrew phonetics as a metaphysical, specifically ontological principle. The letters are divided into the points of articulation within the mouth of the divine speaker, and then permuted with one another, likely to explain the principle of difference and individuation in the cosmos. Different types of entities through the permutational differences in the divine Ursprach, further subdivided into primary letters or emot, mother letters, aleph, mem, and shin, perhaps representing gutturals, labials, and fricatives, but also the beginning, middle, and end-ish of the Hebrew alphabet. The second group are the doubles. These are letters capable of taking a dagesh, which can lengthen the sound of a consonant or switch a consonant between being voiced or unvoiced. The remaining 12 are referred to simply as the simple letters. All of this is synthesized into a kind of ontological linguistic theory, whereby biconsonantal roots are said to represent all of the entities in creation, and are represented by 221 gates, at least in the early later manuscripts has the more logical 231 gates. These gates seem to be the moral operator by which all of creation is thus enumerated. Note that this theory disagrees with the now. The range here is enormous, with letters linked to various body parts, emotions, and ethical dispositions, and so on. The Sefer Yetzirah began in trick fashion, with the most element, and though a process of onplay, progression, and linguistic permutation profuses with the totality of being itself. From simplicity comes the brimming pleroma. Therefore, that a text which tracks the process by which creation unfolded would transform from simply being a description of that process to becoming a prescriptive text describing how one might oneself create a world, or at least another human being. The Sefer Yetzirah seems to have gone through several distinct periods of interpretation. The earliest view of the Chasdei Ashkenaz. And it is here that the text becomes imbued with a deeply magical reading of the golem, or the artificially constructed humanoid. And don't worry, a whole episode about the golem is going to be forthcoming here at Esoterica. So stay tuned for that. Not long after this, we begin the third period of the interpretation of the Sefer Yetzirah, and the enormous tide of the Kabbalah, and synthesized the Sephirah developed first employed in the Zohar. This tide would all include Christian Kabbalah as well, with Guillaume Postel rendered Yetzirah into Latin in 1552. Christian interest in the Sefer Yetzirah only increased over time, and much of Yetzirah was printed in 1502 at Mantua primarily at the behest of Christians, and finally in the 19th century rejected academic investigation with the rise of the Wissenschaft des Judentums movement. That scholarship has only blossomed over the last 100 years, remains an enduring enigma, but brief and alluring enough to re-register. If you're interested in Kabbalah, the history of magic, alchemy, and Western esotericism generally,
You're a little spilly. Very good. The number one live podcast by the Red Rose and the Yellow Rose Deep Eddy Blaster, the Austin Security Guard Service, and that's Dwayne and somebody else over there. How about a service keeping us safe? I'm sorry. My handwriting was a little fucked up. And how about a hand for the Mayo Tony man? God damn it, that is the one and only Michael Gonzalez on the drums. That's Paul Deaver on the horns all the way over here. That's D Madness on the bass guitar, everybody. And the man that put it all together, the great John D, is right down the barrel. It's unbelievable. Yes. That's peanut butter whiskey. Guys, ready to start tonight's episode or what? How many of you have been for a long time? Here's the world, ladies and gentlemen, former killer, legend of the game, the great Ali Makovsky, everybody. Wow. Wow. Ali Makovsky. Ali Makovsky's on tour, AliMakovsky.com for tickets. She's going everywhere. Raleigh, Atlanta, San Diego, Vancouver, Sacramento, and Dania Beach. Welcome back, Ali.
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. You've been on the show for a long time.
Yeah.
A veteran of the game. And how long have you been doing stand-up?
I think 8 years now.
8 years. And you started with Kill Tony and around Kill Tony.
Pretty much. I think I started like a year before Kill Tony, and then that really popped things off for me.
And we made you a regular immediately all the way back to episode 100. Yeah. Fun. The great Roseanne Barr was here with Ali tonight. Just so you guys know, this is another that Roseanne wasn't able to make it, and she is the newest resident of Texas.
So sorry. It's massive. So sorry. I injured you. Hello, everything. Thanks. Sorry.
Just Roseanne was almost here tonight. No big deal. Only the greatest stand-up comedian in the world. But I think so. Who knows? I would keep coming back if I were you, but every show's sold out for infinity. For those of you that don't know, perhaps, a ton of people signed up for the chance to do 60 seconds on this stage. If I pull their name out of the bucket, that means they get 60 seconds. You know their time is up and you hear the sound of a kitten. That means they have to rouse, they bring out the angry West Hollywood. Which interview them, we find out more about them and anything, but it's all improvised. One more time, are you guys ready to start this fucking show? Ladies and gentlemen, your first comedian tonight is one of the regulars on this show, one of three performing a brand new minute every single week, a job that Ali had a long time ago. This guy took over the scene a year and a half, 2 years ago when he became a regular, moved out of his van and moved into a house. Now he buys expensive. Because she told me she was pro-life, but then I found out she was on birth control. So I was like, bitch, you're not pro-life. Supply chain. Let's get a 23-year-old in here with good thoughts. Yeah, I'm really concerned about equal rights. Thank you. Whoa, somebody's should be the opener instead of the closer and move nut in this bitch to the end. I don't want to do. I already talked about Texas last week, so I was like, oh gosh. Or did you talk about where you did it last week? Yeah. So, okay, how do you feel about that? The birth control, I started on. So you did say butt birth control. I know someone's on butt birth control. So where if you come butt doesn't get pregnant, I was super confused. And I think, how many of you heard butt birth control? You don't raise your hands, you make noise on this show. Oh, geez, you people really are visiting from faraway lands tonight. Jesus Christ. For those of you listening to the podcast, everyone just... So, butt birth control, you didn't mean the word butt, did you there at all? I didn't know. You found out she was on control, and so she was micro.
Birth control. Because then when you were saying that she was microdosing abortion,
Amazing that your stutter led you to an entire different orifice. Wait, what? I think I just had a little stroke right there. Okay. So you love to be here in Texas. Equal right? What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, if you're worried about
he wears that shirt because it cancels out. You guys don't like wordplay? No. His name is Hello.
Was one of your answers what is butt birth control? Okay, it's called Jeopardize. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Fucking hit. You're only moving from here on out. I don't have a hint to this anymore. I'll stand down. Okay, thank you. Jesus, what the Should we just take it from the top? Should we take it from after Hans gets off? Should we just take it from the top and pretend like it's a start? Hans isn't here this week. Would you like that?
I think so, yeah.
Really? Yeah, there goes Hans. I think maybe we should. We've never done that before, but maybe we should.
No, we have to keep my console coming in. It really kills.
Sounded in like he didn't in case. That was a little more annoying to the podcasters than it even is to us. Are you guys ready to start tonight's show or what? With a bucket full. What do you guys think? Is that a good move? Normally Hans is here, but normally Hans gets it started, but he came down with a little, ladies and gentlemen, your first comedian out of the bucket. This is a brand new person, I can tell you already, so anything can happen for those of you that don't know the show. This is 60 seconds of stand-up comedy uninterrupted, going to Bill 2.0. Ooh, a big roar from the back. Bill 2.0, getting the night started for us here.
So Hans was just talking about, birth control
this girl. And, you know, after we did it, she's like, "Oh, we need to get Plan B." But you know, coming to Austin, you know, everybody said it was a breeze. I should watch out for the weather. At least I know I was gonna make jokes for. But one thing that is definitely true about Austin, everybody is so in tune with the pronoun. We're called Hispanics. We have to call them Hispanics. And also, like, I just started this new job, and they want your pronouns. From there, I know what they like the better. But man, Jesus, engineer. And the one about Texas needs a whole. Especially Austin, the whole TOU rivalry. Holy shit. I wish I could have finished the last one. I bet you do. You have a chance to Lincoln's gay grandson up here. You don't need to be excited. The first comedian of the night. Don't let his Hans said butt birth control thing.
Helicopter you in. Sound like Chad or
No, you're good. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy? I've done this in my. I want to sign up here. It is Grant's birthday. Oh God. Oh my God. I've heard of men before. Is that or a hand job? Is that or a hand job? Wow, you have not funny bone in your fucking life. It is to put yourself in this position. Frankly, I'm shocked. Why'd you dress like that? It's Grant's birthday.
Face bank.
Thank you. Oh boy.
Be along.
We're just starting. The first turned into hate. My friend. Whoa. Loser. No. What do you do for work? I'm unemployed. That's about right. Employable indeed. You used to do Phil Bill. I managed an indie rap tour real quick. Oh my God, you're the fucking worst. There's only two answers that you have. It's either my friend Grant's birthday, or that I'm a comedian. There you go, Spill Bill, everybody. There you go, Spill Bill. Spill Bill. Spill Bill. Go that way. Yeah. Who's ready? Go to the fucking for this one. I know. We're leaving this solvent, by the way, just to let you know. Your first comedian of the night goes by the name of Juan Torres, everybody. Juan Torres. Well known. Formerly the #1 live podcast in the world. Oh, here he is, everybody. Juan Torres. Make some noise for Juan, everybody. Come on. Hello, how's it going today? Oh, is it like this? Or like this? It's like this. Well, today I am very happy. I just finished with my taco stand. So I came over here to hang out with all my friends today. It's a very... Also, I took the chance of starting doing Uber and Lyft. And with Uber and Lyft, they have a video I must watch to help me start driving Uber and Lyft. The video was middle of having sex. Uber and Lyft that this question. And Uber and Lyft says they're gonna stop having sex because they're very good. Juan Torres. Oh my, happening tonight. This is unbelievable. Juan, welcome to the show. I've never seen a Mexican guy with an Arab accent before. This is incredible. Why do you think it's you think it touch your fucking toy? No. Stop it. Stop it. I can't. All right. Juan Torres. What do you do for work? Juan Torres, everybody. I'm pulling another name out of the bucket. For those of you that like bucket pulls, we're gonna set a record. Let's see what happens. 60 seconds uninterrupted. It goes to John Henry. Everybody. John fighting. What did you just say? The Seinfeld theme. John Henry, tell us something interesting about you. You're in the interview portion of Kill Tony, the first ever episode where I might have to reimburse everybody's tickets. Very, very exciting episode. We've done 100 some, it's almost 700 some episodes, so you guys all get $40 each way out tonight. How many of you want your money back, huh? Wow, I didn't think you guys would be your assholes. Fuck you. John Henry. Okay. Year and a half. Has it gone better? Did tonight ever? Yeah, it's better. When it has gone better, what did you do then? I don't know. I'm gonna try that. I just have to see. I just have all these fucking names. I have to see. Gentleman, Matt Henry, everybody. Matt Henry. Personally, I love it. The last 2 episodes have been the best we've ever done. Our worst episode ever. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. From Matt Henry, I'm sorry. Well, that's so weird. 2 comedians in the room saying Henry. I'm sorry. Matt, one more time for Matt Henry, everybody. I'm sorry, I fucked that up.
No relation. I've been looking for an Asian woman to love me. I guess you could say that I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. I was talking. We have to put down. Like a dog with leukemia, just put him on the blanket, take him out of there. We'll figure it out. I'd like to do Facebook quizzes whenever at this point. It's like 200 my age. I've got the results. Turns out I'm mentally retarded. Thanks, Matt.
Henry, ladies and gentlemen. During his set, really fucking up. Shit. Holy shit. Matt, welcome. Welcome. How long have you been doing stand-up?
About 3 should just know how to swim, but I just did not learn.
No, it's because you know how to swim. Knowing how to swim makes sense. Why they deep left, by the way? I'm pretty sure that's a show. Do you ever like practice swimming like in the bathtub or anything? Or are you like someday
I'll learn. I'm gonna need to take lessons. That's what I'm gonna do this year. That's a New Year's resolution.
What sport are you really good at?
What sport am I gonna?
Yeah.
Basketball.
Oh, wow. They swim. Have we got the math on this yet? Are white guys that are good at basketball like black guys and then they can't swim, perhaps? This is something Pfizer should test for. Okay. All right. Matt. Well, very good. What's your love life like? You seem like a good
I am divorced.
How old are you?
28.
28. Already divorced. That was Wisconsin marriage. You got married at what? You're having fun right now. Are you drunk already? Is that what it is? Your color is good. It's all that tea, man. I'm just pumped up on it. There you go. You know what I'm gonna do? Because this episode seems special, I'm going to move the golden ticket winner and both the first time ever in the show's history, just so that I can possibly see if we can keep this humanly possible. I've been doing this a long time, 9 years and what, 9 years and 9 months, every Monday and on weekends, all over the world. And I never quite seen the start of it. Like this. I have this, what was once a paper filled up with nothing but bullshit, scratched out notes. Oh man, my name is Drew Blues, and I just had shots over, and I'm about to like the first guy that dies in a Stone. I'm like, you're a fucking liar. I look like I come from Stone, right, sir? I was like, oh, how you doing, sir? I've never seen right in the country. What do your parents do? Oh, no, actually, you didn't. One of the funniest things about tonight's episode. So no, kind of a bummer. But tonight, yeah. I don't want the audience to be mad. Like, he was a deadbeat, now he's just dead. Y'all can laugh, you know? Yeah, thank you, single mom. Yeah. One lady cheering got all your attention. Look at that. Drew, what do you do? I'm actually checks, believe it or not. Wow, look at that. That's something. So you know what? I get to take it with traveling. It's good. Okay. Sure. I don't want to, my bad, yeah, I want to be a little about me. Shit, this might jack the show. I feel bad, you know? I'm sorry about that. No, it's great. It's a theme tonight. I love it. Drew, tell us, what is the most interesting thing about you? Get your fucking hand away from the soundboard. Oh my god, right? What is that? And so, it's a water company that Chuck founded, so I've been doing commercials for them, and I'm just getting monetized and sponsored. Jesus. let's do one more bucket full, and if this doesn't work, again, I just long episode tonight. Here comes RJ Marchand, everyone. This Kill Tony. One more into the night. RJ Marchand, everyone. Hell yeah, dude! I'm a country boy. I don't do that shit. Earlier, I think country boy jokes. I want to hear how country I am. Again, crowd loved it. That just sounds like my inner thoughts all the time. I didn't think RJ, well, you've been doing stand-up comedy. Like 8 years. Oh, very good. 8 years. All of it here in Austin? No, I'm from Alabama. Okay. You did most of it now. Do you live here now? Yeah. How long ago did you move here? September. Yeah. Very cool. No way. That was good. If that is not real, that's the funny. You really teach people how to swim? Oh my god! I was like, whoa! A real joke. No, I wasn't able to swim. I thought that was a really call back earlier. I'll give you the credit for it anyway. You're getting a big joke, but no matter what. This is your first time on the show, right? Yeah. I love it. It's good to have bad boys on the show. Look out. This is the part of Guitar Hero where we're not quite there yet, but we're almost there. Don't fucking touch anything. Don't you fucking touch anything. Go to the old soundboard for Christ's sake. This thing is using you. You're going to see this at this point. No, I mean, like, December. Are you? This was the last time I got laid. Yeah. And how did that go down? How did that happen? My ex came to town. Alabama. Tony. Well, that's like shocking. Like how you present it. Where did you there's this girl. Are you you're going along? was in Georgia or Florida, in her vagina, and I moved it back and forth, and then stuff came out of my ween. It was different. It was weird. It was scary. It was fun. Yeah. Okay. That you do in the bedroom to a woman, the old long time. Oatmeal or whatever. No, I don't even think they like each other. Yeah. Try. Try. Last night, it didn't work at all. They drunk and it started off in there. And basically, they got in an argument because I guess he felt emasculated because of her. Next, I like push him off and stuff. It was funny. Been doing this a long time, my friend. That was hilarious. Your parent, like Alabama, very religious. They're religious. They don't really talk to each other very much. They like hate each other, have that type of thing. They've been. Are you sure you don't live with your parents? Get a real laugh. And I assume everybody's like, it's very exciting. How exciting. I go 3 hours tonight, by the way, for the first time ever. Okay. RJ, I'm going to give you a big joke, but we're going to get you out of here. Real jokes. Should we go to this again? I have things on deck that will work, but I'm saying it doesn't really make sense. I'm going to try. Tom, obviously, is one of our, and Bert. You know, everyone on the Reddit loves.
Read off your credits really quick. Don't look right now. Let's see here. We've got a movie star. They were in Home and The Prospect. Everyone give it up for Brendan Green. Yeah.
Yo, Doug, how old are you?
You know me, don't worry, I'm April.
Oh, yeah, you're Ava. Okay. Yeah, apologies. Yeah. How you living?
Yeah. I changed my stuff a lot. Apologies.
No, you're fine. How you living, girl? You should. And there's a chance they'll let you back. I want to say the appeal.
Want to go back? They kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, they're annoying. I want to say the Daddy, and then I think their appeal server is discord.gg4 Discord.
Oh. Appeal. Chilled and went to the hospital. She's good. She's good. It was an accident, but she's fine now.
Oh, that sounds pretty. Oh, that's pretty serious. All right. What's on your agenda for this week?
Probably nothing. Probably bed a little bit or something.
Nothing?
So
Do you work?
Oh yeah, I could go to work too. It's just like
Okay. You're gonna talk with some friends.
oh, this guy.
Yeah, Brandon, he live streams in here. He's been live streaming in here for most.
Brandon ain't really.
Yeah, he's got a ton
What
of
the?
got a ton of accounts in here.
What the? What?
He likes me. What do you want? What do you want me to do about it? He's my friend.
Holy.
Look at all the things he streams.
Good. It's news.
Yep, and weather and sports. He's like
Edition.
who is? And he just I didn't talk with him the first like few weeks. I was just like kind of like okay, somebody's in here. That's cool. Then we got talking. I'm glad you enjoyed my story. Okay, so when am I gonna see you again? Good. I hope you're a scout.
All right, that's the show. I knew Timmy was going to say, yeah. So I got them to say, yeah. Welcome. We got Timmy on our show. Timmy Obis. Tim Obis, comedian.
Yes.
Comedian named Tim Obis. What based off of, dude?
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, the Amy Madigan character. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking Richard West. One of our favorite films. I think we probably talked about it on the pod before. We always talk about like the movies that we watch.
Yeah.
That was a good one. The guy that trained that guy. Yeah, it's based on my actual life experience of stabbing.
Yeah. Whoa.
Did you stab a cop at the guy? This is like a thing where we're cops that were trying to nail you for past crimes.
That was Gomez, dude. Yeah, that's our buddy. That was our guy.
How could you do that?
Yeah.
I wasn't even on drugs when I did it.
Oh, really?
Before.
Yeah. Well, when you were...
That's why I started doing drugs. I felt bad for the cop. Oh, yeah. So it was a guilt thing. Yeah. Okay.
Well, when you do a bunch of drugs, you know, and you cop, yeah, you're gonna stand up the cop.
That's funny. I like that. Like as a way when you're sober, telling people to stop. You're like, you know where you're headed, right? Yeah, you're gonna stab a cop in the eye. At some point, you're gonna hurt a police officer. As if that's gonna make you be like, oh well, I don't want to hurt a cop. He's just like, oh. He's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was just like, yeah, Yeah, don't give them a chance. It's when you give the cop a chance. That's when you get fucked.
You gotta strike first.
Exactly. Yeah, give yourself some time to get away.
I would never stab a cop, but you know what makes me upset about cops? What? Is the amount of breakfast burritos they eat. Yeah. You ever notice this? No. You don't have a breakfast burrito spot, huh? I don't have a breakfast burrito. Look how fucking ripped this guy is.
Yeah, you look in great shape. Really? Yeah, it's funny. You're the most recently sober, but you look way better than both of them. I gotta put the word in. But dude, you said I would never stab a cop like 2 or 3 times. It makes it sound like you would.
I would never do that.
We should put in the comments who's most likely to do that for real. Vote. Me and Tim.
Have you ever been in a scenario where you're all Have you been in a scenario where you're close to it? You're like,
Stabbing a
oh,
cop.
oh yeah.
I mean, earlier this morning. You're gonna do it again. Again, it hurts. No, the burrito thing is an inside big, but we had this thing going where, like, one time Gerardo saw a bunch of cops eating breakfast burritos all together, and he was like, how could you do
just one each, but it was like three cops. And they're all like, it's like,
yeah,
that's breakfast or you're about to go on a food coma.
the cops sound like a cop. Like, you kind of look more like a cop, I imagine. Oh, I did exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't help me on drugs. Did they think you were like a lot? Did, yeah. Even though I looked like with people that meth that you put on makeup. Wow. Whoa. Stuff like that. They get. Yeah. How would you prove yourself to them? So like that you're not a cop or stab cops. You're like, here's a picture of the cop I stand. You can't even prove. It's just enough times. Drugs. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So you could be lying, and that could be not a real thing, and I would believe it. I believe it. Okay, I believe it. Oh, I wrote a new. Took a hit, put it back and burned it.
Here comes the food.
Yeah. Right? It's like you're gonna burn your penis.
Yeah. The reason why I have you here today is because you need to develop a new habit of smoking crack and
Oh my god. It's another bit. It's like, okay, I started going stuff. But I started going to McDonald's in the morning. Next step. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna in weird on his body.
Yeah.
Like weight, or it'll be like in a weird spot. Like it'll be like his legs will be really big or something. So I have pot belly. Oh my god. Oh no. It's a pot belly. No. See, it's not a good look. He's gonna be one of those like red fat guys. They turn red. He's already got what city is he? I don't even know. What game? Made half green.
That's a $20 matcha.
Oh, I don't know. It's like almost too light to be matcha. Some sort of yeah, I don't know what that is.
What is this hat? A beanie in medieval times.
Is this recent?
Let me see how recent it is.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a thing you'd wear to a health club right now.
Wearing
And the hat. He's not a cop. He's just a pussy. No, that is very interesting to me though. That you go there and like everyone that makes sense. They would think you're a police officer because they're all paranoid from that.
Yeah.
That is her thing. I grew up where that's not true at all, but that didn't make me paranoid. We are extremely paranoid. I wouldn't think people were cops. I would just think cops were around. I would just think like, what do I do with my hands? That too. You know, the word gonna go wrong. Yeah. You know, like you can't even. You're like, it wouldn't always happen, but when it did, I'll be like, oh my god. Yeah. Every single. Let's say smoke. Yes, pretty much. Once I smoke, every now, so yeah. I get that. So it sounds like a psychosis kind of. They're almost legitimate fears, but they're just hyper. Yeah, right. It's true. Yeah, yeah. Because there is not. I went to the doctor. Yeah. So I took it for a while. But it's really didn't do anything for me. Just gave me horrible headaches. Yeah. So I just stopped. I'm not considered it. That's good. Yeah. You but like it's like, all right, you put down the while you're writing shit, dude. Like, this is not. You think you're gonna convince people to create them? You have like 3 creatives or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty trippy, dude. Yeah, make a creative. Yeah, it's anime creative. Now we never really looked into it. Just I think we go where someone had died from taking like off-brand kratom, and I think that was enough for me. So I'm like, yeah, yeah. But that's all the podcasts they sell. Recently, you know, Shab used to do that, but now he's losing his great. Really? What? People don't watch it. Yeah, but one of those famous things they did was he said that this person was talking about how their son gets epileptic fits, and Shab's like, oh, blah, 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 you gotta give it. Was it crazy? That was CBD. CBD. Oh, that's even more crazy. Yeah. The kid do CBD. Well, maybe not more crazy, but it's so crazy. Like, you're some kid in 5th grade, he's got like a CBD like vape.
Yeah, apparently he's been taking it for 2 years.
That wasn't a bit. That wasn't a bit. I feel that's like one of our big okay.
Channel on our Discord called Creative Comments, and every time somebody would leave like a fucking 4-page essay,
When I was taking it,
oh yeah, that's how it goes.
you're tired.
Whoa.
Because I couldn't make explanation.
Yeah.
I went to her and her family, and I was playing. And so, I was just detoxing in St. Petersburg. And the sun was out, and I'm detoxing, and I can't sleep. We get to go to, like, these Russian castles and stuff. That's crazy. And you're with the in-laws.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, and they don't speak English. I was like, yeah. Did they notice anything like, man, their husband? Because I mean, that's the thing about kratom is it's like it's not hard to make you like strung out in a way, but it's like as if you take a little bit of kratom, it's like a couple of cups of coffee. Yeah, it's like slightly energizing and like euphoric, and if you take a lot of it, you'll get tunnel vision or you're on morphine, or you're on heroin. But now I'm annoyed with him. I mean, more than annoyed. He seems like I'm realizing. Oh, really? Yeah, no, you do that funny. And then he did his whole grip. Like first he was first he was like a Buddhist.
It's your alarms to wake up.
Yeah, it's my alarms. Yeah, I think he's kind of a scripture.
Yeah, 100%. Back on the kratom thing, I understand why people somebody take kratom and how well it's just going to develop a love for kratom. To your podcast on kratom,
That's
more
true.
listens. What would Andrew Schultz say?
It's more expensive, and your life at a slower rate.
It's like, oh, you're a sex. Well, here's your pocket pussy, right? Having sex and just fucking that thing. All day long.
There's all those tickets. Kratom is like a great drug for ruining a family because it's just right away you can notice the track marks and stuff, but it just like slowly crush a father. Absolutely. Yeah. Over time. But it happened to one of our friends. Shout out to a former guest. Okay, now.
Right.
I think.
This is him.
Oh,
You took too much. That's
pre-mixed. That's out in public anywhere without embarrassing you?
Oh yeah.
When they're like rude to the like wait staff and everything. No. But yeah, no, I 100% I know that. And even there was one time where I was out with this meeting, like he's from Philadelphia, so he was trash. Yeah. And he was like, we're out, and he said that he did that thing where he's like, I'm like, dude, there's like at least 3 or 4 gay people with us right now. Oh wow. Like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. All right. Yeah. He was like, he felt bad. He just, to him, he didn't even know that was bad. Oh yeah. He was like, Tony, well, there's like,
sad thing. He works at a store.
oh really?
And same with Tony. He was at a grocery store. He passed away. That's not what I was talking about. But imagine if I did see him, that'd be fucking nuts. Way more worth talking about on the podcast. You know, but I saw Tony in the movie. It's about before going to the movie, we went to dinner, like a double date type thing. You know what I mean? And I'm with 3 other people, and I'm not gonna be the guy to be like, don't mention I do comedy ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how friends will be like, oh, Brendan's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, right, Timmy's a comedian, and then now you're just the fucking guy like sitting there, not standing up with a mic in front. So I'm at dinner with them. We're at a fast restaurant, and this guy keeps making jokes. I was like, can we sit over here next to the window? And he's like, oh, was it assigned seating? My bad, I'm just kidding. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, but we can sit here, right? He's like, I don't know, is somebody sitting there? Just kidding. I was like, bro, just answer the fucking question. I didn't say just answer the question, but I was like, I actually thought like I was fucking funny, dude. Like, oh, this is really funny. Yeah. And then we're all finally sitting, and then he's our waiter. So he was like the busboy first, washing the table, and now he's something like, are you guys ready to order? I'm like, yeah. And then, you know what I mean? And then, people are laughing. We're all laughing, even me. I'm just like, something because I don't want to. Yeah. And then, yeah, exactly like that too. I was like, oh. My buddy Louis was like, oh, who's the comedian? You or this guy? And I was like, oh my god, damn it, right? And then so now the guy's like, oh. He's like, the eyes of the you do comedy. And then I was like, yeah, I do. He goes, he said something about how I'm not funny. That he's funny, right? Like, and it was funny. This is a funny joke. Yeah. And I was like, good job. Just with my girlfriend. I was like, I'm trying to eat right, and he bombs. One of the later for the rest of it. And I was getting it. So and it wasn't my thing. He was just like, oh, like he just like started thinking I'm a piece of shit. I suck.
Top 10 things that you.
Go for it. You start with the first 5.
When people say,
Number 10.
people will say, Terry should be a comedian. Like, hey, Terry, can you get that other thing that people do? Can you remember a specific example recently? Or like not recent, but any time where it's like Terry, this guy fucking Terry. Yes, I can't remember examples.
She's like, I'll never forget.
Like who were the people? Coworkers. And then he said like another coworker. Yeah. That's kind of hilarious. I was like starting the job. Like I'm nervous. What's funny about that and what you said is like, I feel like there's a parallel where it's like, oh yeah, you smoke meth, prove it. Oh, so you're more. So where do you do shows at? Where yeah. Oh, you smoke flappers? With ticket flappers? Funny. Back drugs. It's like, oh, you're a comedian? When's the last time you blew a guy at flappers? How many times have you blown a guy at flappers? I was blowing me at flappers last night. Are you fully out on flappers, or do you still want to work? No, fuck. We did it. Oh, you literally did flap. True. So sad. I scored flappers because I'll give you some things that I like about flappers. I like that part of Oh yeah. The food in that area kind of sucks. But yeah, continue. Yeah. I mean, it's just very generic. Like Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever. They have like Indian food, Hawaiian barbecue, fucking stuff like that. I love that. And there's also like as a comedian, there's one thing about comedy is that it's very hard to park in most comedies. Flappers you can park. Yeah. You can park at that mall. They got tons of parking there, dude. No one's there. They need you park anywhere. Park in the club. Park in my wife's pussy. They're giving it out, dude. They'll do anything. It's fucking 5 free tickets. How about 10? How about 20? We'll suck your dick. Dude, fucking Flappers is pathetic. Oh, I actually hacked into a mainframe where I can get access to Flappers cameras. Let's go ahead and look at this. No way. Outside of Flappers. They would like Tony Hinchcliffe call the whole audience in. Come here, we love your stuff, Tony. Do a Kill Tony in the Yoo-Hoo room. Never leave. Do a Kill Tony in the Yoo-Hoo room. Put swastikas up. Anyway, so and then he. That's always gonna happen. Peppers and stuff like that, and I was considering work. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know like comedy work, but I didn't know you were gonna work. Jay likes Flappers. Oh, true. He meant you like. But it's like we guys started the comedy. Oh, it was a couple weeks after I started. Yeah. They fired him? What? He just didn't show up. He was becoming a comedy store door guy. When you don't show up. Flappers where they had this guy who's and he comes out on stage and he's like, welcome to the like maybe we have drinks here, so get a drink. If you don't want a drink, maybe get an $8 monster. Literally said that. So you want me to go buy a big ass monster? You're advertising that you're telling open micers that we should go get an $8. Is this a podcast? Like, what are you? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Have you heard?
I was going to stand up, but people told me it was good.
Yes, it's Andy Jing and Aaron Best. And free parking, like a lot of parking on Sunset Boulevard. They're very generous. They get really good video clips, like high quality. And they're like really good guys.
That sounds good to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Parking is such a crucial aspect of comedy.
Yes, it is.
It really
It really is. Going to the store sometimes. Well, no, oh yeah, there he is.
So let's see this really quick. You like this bit? Or should I put it?
Yeah, I like that with his kids. This guy, Tennessee girl got it. Yeah, that got clavicular. You know, he was a bad influencer. Looks maxing.
What do you think?
Do you know clavicular? So,
The content, I'm like, I'm actually not a role model for me.
yeah, I've actually only seen like 2 clips of him, but like, the clips that I saw, like, he was like, yeah, I smoke that to make you friends and family. You're all friends and like my ex-wife, like all these jobs that I lost. It's just like, yeah, I just. Like, what?
I actually got a picture of his.
He's like clavicular, like, and then videos where he just passes out from like overdosing or stuff. They used to, when I was a kid, they would go after celebrity for being bad role models. They I smoked meth to stay in shape.
Oh, videos of him hit on maxing or like he's
like
pickup game. Yeah, his pickup game
Wow.
was like obnoxious.
those like weird looking, like, you know, you need girls that look like
You're like, don't talk to clavicular.
or just like not even predator. Yeah, he's probably a predator, or at least someone here with him But also, you about that. Like you shouldn't be on this is the career path.
Imagine you up by this.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He got famous because he like ran it. That's the first thing I saw. Some guy was like harassing him and he hit him with his car.
Yeah.
And they're like streamer convicted guy with car.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
No. Remember?
And then the kids at home are like,
He's on a generational run.
That's who's going to be like the next role model. Is going to be like a serial for sure to do it properly. But it's overdosing right. But the moment of kill, he's like, oh,
you know, fucking bunch of chicks. Imagine being in the 70s or 80s, or 70s or 80s, 70s,
something like that.
and after Ted Bundy, we'd be doing a podcast like, we're chicks into Ted Bundy.
Oh, like when he's in jail. Yeah,
Ted Bundy was a good guy.
Good.
Yeah, Ted Bundy was the killer. It's like you can kind of understand it. He had the feel. Clavicular. Why would you want to be with that? He's almost not a human being. He just looks like a like weird thing.
It's like 12 hours a day. Smoking and hitting his jaw with a
He's trying to get into that.
It does sound good.
I can
He's stealing people. He's stealing people's identity. He's just to like fuck with the town and fucking kill everyone.
Yeah.
The ROI. Right now.
I can take saying something like that. That you said, like, from the one. It's the time. Like, you should be maxing.
Yeah.
How is that maxing?
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's a new angle to go. Like, it wastes your recording yourself on stream.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
yeah.
Live on his YouTube channel
Yeah.
all day long.
Hello.
Like,
Yeah.
you just can't see that though. They're just like, oh, what's up? He's not the comment.
Hello.
Well, he was on literally twice.
It's awesome.
If you, what is it?
Peaceful Methods.
Yeah.
You want to hear a song that I wrote about it? Okay, so my drugs of choice were meth and Xanax, so I wrote a song that goes Xanax, and meth. They go together like poppers. Actually, after this,
It's nice. Yeah.
Oh, dude, there's been
like your Google search.
Oh yeah.
First thing that pops up is not your first interview, but your second interview.
Hey, Xanax. Okay, and I'll give you some money. Like, oh, my bad, man. And he's like, hey, I can get you on some more money if you want to do the show. And because I've been working on weapons, I never watched South. So I'm in Santa Monica with the hunter, so I go to Marshall's to buy a remote control car to take apart. That's pretty good. I mean, I did buy it, so my get down on that was to disassemble remote control and glue other parts to and spray paint it gold. In my dumpster diving, I lost the remote control car. I'd like to buy this so I can get apart and paint it gold, obviously. Duh. There's like a bunch of people at MacArthur Park just doing that. Yeah, I would.
Another thing is, Timmy, one thing I found fascinating was that you stole, he's wearing all this. He would go to a thrift store. Go ahead.
I would go to Goodwill and steal.
Take his clothes off and then put the other clothes on and walk out.
Yeah. Can you put that back on the tree? The majority of my meth experience was going to Goodwill and sifting through their clothes, stealing, and then walking out of Goodwill without paying for it.
This is one magic mind. That's what he looks like now. Yeah. That's all it takes. Watching my pro.
Shoes are sick.
Stolen? Everything is stolen?
Check out the shoes, Daddy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the reason why I had Tim come today is because I want you to stop doing amphetamine.
I'll never stop thinking of it.
I told Timmy, I was like, oh, my smoking crack in the McDonald's park.
I was like that podcast.
Otherwise known as crack.
Man, that is so funny. All that stuff. I like the idea of having to convince people they smoke meth. I think that's what I'm going to take away. No, anything that you do, whether it's comedy, regular job, or even smoking meth, it's all going to be like a job interview. You have to convince, even in getting drugs, it's like, you can be like, I'm here. They go, tell me about yourself. That's what the drug dealer essentially, the version of tell me about yourself in getting meth It's like, you a cop? A cop? Yeah. That's, I've now realized, yeah, everything in life is
funny because I was like super ashamed and like
it's funny.
Yeah. It's,
I feel about Killtown.
I went, and then I went on the show again at 15 months sober, and I just like collaborate with, yeah,
Instagram posts. Instagram or
yeah, Instagram posts like a before and after, and I would post the first video that are all
over Instagram, dude.
Dude, I guess
Did you have a Instagram?
Well, it was yeah, no, I wrote that word Instagram. I could flip losing my password. But I did have Instagram. I did have an app I was on. I met from.
I remember one night you showed you were like, oh, look at this, like the highlights of it. You're like, this is a dumpster to open.
I did actually, yeah. I really don't. I gotta find out how to like rate it, you know, like
Maybe story posts.
story post.
Yeah. You know, like you could share if your old Instagram isn't private, you could share story posts.
Yeah, it's not private.
Yeah,
So,
so there you go.
but,
Yeah, I got you. We're trying to get him comments.
oh yeah.
You can shoot your handle and off.
Oh my God! See this?
Which one?
That guy to the that guy. That guy, I hung out with this guy.
It's like
A couple days before I went on South. Like I was on Hollywood Boulevard and I was hung out for like 13 hours. But yeah, this guy was super weird.
now you're gonna take a suitcase.
Yeah, it was,
Well, the mics right now. That's Fred Shapiro. Johnny Johnny. It's like names people don't know. Yeah, right. But yeah,
his name is Sonny.
Sonny, yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
Sonny.
Of course, Sonny.
Anyway, I thought it was, you know, it's like I got sober and I started looking at videos and I realized that people from the street who were also on that, which is YouTuber,
They only give you up their front seat. But then you see the guy that told you that. You're like, you're here too, dude. They told me to fuck with all you do. I want $100. I need to buy more guns to take apart. If you were on Underbelly, what would be your story? What would be my story? Like, what? You know how some at the Xanax team would it be like?
I thought that somebody left their suitcase like it was going to steal it. And then he came running out saying, that's my stuff. And I was like, oh shit. And then I had to help him recycled cans the rest of the night and smoked them. But anyway, it's a funny people would think that, like a FBI agent is walking around who the street agent is. I'm gonna go restaurant or lunch. Like this guy, he's talking about his friend Tony Hinchcliffe on fucking. It's just very delusional. Very something. Yeah, if you really thought about it, it's like actually the reason that you or that nobody gives a flying fuck about you, like that's a hard pill to swallow. Like Los Angeles, when I don't know if I'm describing this right, but if you're walking down the street with like a bunch of goods in like a stolen shopping cart, and your shirt's on, you just nothing. Like nobody's like paying attention because we're so used to seeing nobody. I guess nobody fucking cares at all. That is one of these like billionaire CEOs who has stolen shit and they even didn't care. They're just having the best day of their life. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Hurting like you're just president of the United States. I like to end it on a sad note. No, I mean for sure. I'm reading George Washington's book still. Oh yeah, his book. Yeah. And a couple of things that it reminded. And one of the things that was you guys reminded me of. Well, like his first. He kind of like lied about it in a weird way, but it was more like propaganda from the French and the English about the Indians and their involvement in the war, the French Indian War. What I was gonna be. This is real hair. Yeah, apparently. But also, like you would want to be the one guy. When he said Confessions of Shamba, I think about it was the first picture. It is a bad picture. There's also no one there in the background. Paying $1 million. I've never sucked a dick in my life. In Austin. I think Sorry to flappers, but shout out to Timmy for coming through, dude. Do this real quick. If we have any voicemails, I thought somebody was number at 8667 at 775 557 TMO.
tonight, huh? Hey, everybody! Make some noise for Brian Redman, everyone. Hey, everybody! You're in Kill Zone, and I'm a for the best band in all the freaking balls. That's the great Michael Gonzalez on the drums. John Dees on the keyboard. This is Matt Bueling and that beautiful man. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Start tonight's show. Here's a little bit more for the amazing sponsors that make tonight's episode available for you here, right now. Are you guys ready to start tonight's show or what? And no man, this is just one of those weeks where I just can't believe it. It was free, unbelievably great at the same goddamn time. Unbelievable how excited I am. Three of my favorites. Make some noise for Punky Johnson, Jim Florentine, and Eddie Pepito. Wow. Saturday Night Live. Punky Johnson. The great Jim Florentine. Punky motherfucking Johnson. Guys, make some noise for our guy. Wow. Three of my favorites all at once. We've all worked together forever. I worked in the comedies together fucking a decade ago. She is up Saturday night. How cool is that? She used to get drunk, you would not believe, in front of the comedy store, literally the front patio. And I would sit there and we would get drunk as fuck and talk about how maybe one day we could pass a little leather joke. Things are coming true. How about a hand for the great ideas and gentlemen? Yet again, Eddie's it's a great sound, and thanks for coming in. And I'm going to hand the great Jim. These guys. As everybody's off to you forever since I was a kid listening to Howard. However long. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Oh, it is. That is crazy. I feel like I've done it before. That's one. Well, I feel like you've done it before. That's probably a really good sign. How many of you know what the fucking show you're at right now even is? You might know that lately over 150 people have been signing up. Opportunity. There's packed into the corner. Comedians, make some noise. Are you guys back there? Lions before. Anyway, you know the time is up and hear the sound. That means they have to open up. Then or else they bring out the Angry West Hollywood Bear, which followed us here on, cuts them off, and then I interview them, and we find out more about them all together. The whole thing's improvised. Anything can happen at any given moment. You guys ready to start this fucking show or what? Yeah. Well, your first game going up tonight is not out of the bucket. In fact, it is one of our great starts off every single show. We've watched the boy go from sleeping in his van, eating fucking oatmeal. Fucking
So the Chinese balloon got shot down. Man, these gender reveal parties are getting out of hand. You know it was like
And strong. Jump up. Why? You're living that life, Hans.
Yeah.
I love it. I wrote a note down here. Homeless guy. It's a shame we don't give out like Academy Awards in this business because that may be one of the best written anything I've ever heard in my entire life. Hans, how do you feel?
I feel amazing as always. Another Fletch Cliff's tutelage.
I don't know if I can take all the credit, but thank you. I still like it every time you say it. You are doing crazy happening in Hawaii.
I went to Pearl Harbor, the site of our biggest W.
You guys that did that? That is true. This is your guy's him. He's a pro. He's a radio show. Any initial thoughts or anything about Hans?
Can I plan it on going corporate life because you're never gonna get a job. Do the stand comedy and stick to it. Yo, you got some cancelable shit. And, a lot of people can't handle it. So
That is true. And the fucking straight up dog that has to basically on a business suit. I bet you're every time that access card opens the gate, you're like, fooled him again.
An arena with Rogue and Tony and Joey Diaz was on the show too. And I never heard of him. So I'm like, who the fuck is this guy going on first? And he killed. And like, it was really inspiring. Like, first, to put it comfortable up there and not panicking or anything like that. Just so brutal and awful. I loved it. I mean, in a nice way. It just, yeah, like you said, monkeys, but yeah.
It's amazing.
About him.
Yeah. Hans, you do it every week. Stone Cold Assassin. We love watching you grow. It's very, very, very hard. You're right and perform and do it every week. You do it. Thank you, Hans. Yeah, thank you. That was Hans. Yeah, Hans. Yeah. To the bucket we go. You guys ready for some crazy shit? I promise you, anything can happen. We're gonna start someone named Shane Neon. Yankee.
My dad. Champion or Champion? Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be because my dad's from Pittsburgh, but he said Bianchi because Yankee sounds too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your last name is evolving.
Oh yeah.
Back to the show, Shane. How long have you been doing stand-up?
5 years.
5 years. Where at?
I moved. I was started in Nashville, and then a year ago I moved to LA.
So you started stand-up in Nashville, not at Hogwarts? What is that? Excited about something right now. No, I love. Oh, there it is. Sometimes you can pick the song. It's where you play the song. I love it. Well, Shane. So what do you do for work? What is a guy like you? You look like live on the keyboard. Coffee shops. Once in America. All right. You're wild, man. So Shane, what do you do for work? Welcome to my car. I expect 5 stars and 5 stars only. Welcome to my Honda Civic. Ooh. I was laughing and performing at the same time. So you bring that out of me. You have a look that is that's hilarious.
Cody was. He's weird and he's so funky.
What do you think about this fucking Chucky doll mixing?
I don't really want to say what I really think of this nigga. I feel like your comedy is super, honestly, expertish to me.
can't lock
Go
up.
on a gun. Jesus
You're
Christ.
right.
Don't go in your pocket, boy. Shit.
You thought he was gonna pull out a gun?
Oh, there it is. The lens was a gun.
I would love to have you on the secret show.
We have cool handmade leather Tony book from the Great Bonsai. Oh, that's just a sad ending. You could have said that after the show. But I just show me right now. Yeah, what an energy killer that was. Give me the fucking joke book back. No, I'm kidding.
He's gotta get back to LA. He's got hobbies to get to. So.
Better time to start it now. There he goes, everybody. Shane Bianchi, everyone. And so it has begun. Uber. Siri. All right, Phil Abraham, you are next on Kill Tony, straight out of the bucket. Looks like a new name. We love meeting newbies here. A lot of sign-ups lately. You guys having fun out there? How do we feel, Austin? Rico. Philip Abraham.
So I'm not getting casual relations. I just had a one-night stand that was pretty bad. We've been married a couple years now. Skateboard, and they said we couldn't afford it. So one night I got out of bed and I went to the garage and I got a wood. Got a hammer and I went.
Wow, Philip Abraham, everybody, making his debut. Shut the fuck up, Philip. I was not expecting someone skipping Bianchi. Here comes the comedian who looks you directly in the eyes while doing punchlines. Wow. This is incredible. Are you Shane's dad from Nashville? So, Philip, we're doing stand-up, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay. First of all, you have to literally lose the Jesus Christ. Alright. You're doing some old ass fucking bullshit like that. Your perspective on like what ethnicity are you? Let's start there. Because you look.
He's like the bad guy from Indiana
It's like I'm not coming. Very good.
It's great. It's great. I thought Shane had a gun. I think this guy got a bomb.
I work at the cemetery.
Jesus. Christ, what is going on here tonight? Well, I work at the cemetery. Okay. Hey, it's a totally different type of cemetery, but he's alive. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, grow here. Wow. Austin. Oh, Jim, what do you think about that?
Russell Peters.
It is. It is.
Well, what nationality are you?
South India.
Indian wave. John D's hitting us with a little bit of South Indian music there with the left hand. Pretty easy to do if you know the fucking tones. Do you listen to South Indian music still?
Maybe a little bit.
Oh. Shit. Okay. Tell us about your your life. How
It's just failing a lot.
what? You've said nothing since you got up here. You did old timey jokes and in the said something more. I'm trying to find out about you. This is where you would start finding out if you could fucking write material in an art form. Like, like what?
Writing obituary.
I'm on steroids. What were you doing in this ice cream shop exactly? I'm trying to figure this out. Oh wow! Do you have a funny bone in your entire body?
Not right now.
Have you ever given us an example of that? Can you tell us about it? You sort of lay in the scene, and then we'll be like, "Oh, that was funny," or we'll be like, "Oh, he did it again." The thing that he does. That one guy did that one thing the whole time, and Tony was really.
And I'm gonna say one thing, okay? I'm gonna be supportive because we've been shitting on.
Can I get some water?
I'm trying to be supportive, and this motherfucker acting shit. You know what? Tony won't do it no more. No. Come on, like you said, round whole bunch of tonight. I'll make shit up. It would actually happen because it'd be funny. You right? arbitrary. I want you to work on believing in yourself because you have a lot of things that you've done. And you don't believe that it's funny, but it is. So work on it, and you're going to be great. Man, you just gotta believe it.
I don't think
What's gay?
you're not fucking anything. You're not saying you're not gay. You're just afraid your South Indian parents might watch this.
I'll take what I care.
Gay, everybody. That's gay. Welcome to. No, I'm not. I mean, I would fuck a guy, but I'm not. Ladies and gentlemen, there was the Kill Tony do of Philip. Philip, can you catch? Philip, can you catch? Yeah, Philip Abraham, everybody. What do we got? Ladies and gentlemen, another one of your regulars, an absolute legend. As for his joke writing and fucking roasting skills, he does it every single week. One of the baddest motherfuckers on planet Earth. It is David Lucas, everybody. Works for gay, everybody.
I got the new iPhone. It's not as racist as the old iPhone. I tried reviews and stuff were negative. It was like, perhaps you mean Nigeria. Or maybe you mean Nicaragua. I was like, no, I mean nigga. The phone was like, definition, please. I was like, partner, my nigga. I know that the flaws in that bitch's head. Give me a bitch without a horn.
We play a minute every single week for years, selling out everywhere, killing all over the place. My man.
Tony, what nigga, we need a hand to fucking drop some eggs. Eggs at Whole Foods, H-E-B, nowhere. We need to get up out of there, bro.
Are you calling me a chicken head right now?
Calling you a head.
New iPhone. Well, how many bytes? How many gigas? Those are megabytes. I wasn't trying to fuck with you tonight, man. Okay? Let's go.
Listen, they call you beast mode.
Alright, you got a lot to say when Roll be stacking up on you like that. Laundry, nigga. You better get the fuck. Alright, now don't make me come at your ass. He doing me and Tony, every motherfucker, what's up? What's up?
You live to go to the women's bathroom, but you still pieced it up.
I saw the fuck doing. That ain't even a joke, nigga. That's my real life. What's up? I say the motherfuckers in the bathroom. Alright? You ain't cut the pie, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. What's up?
It is weird. He I sit down to pee. Don't ask questions, all right?
SNL for Pakistan for Saturday Night Live.
Hell, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, y'all want to see something cool?
I tried to be good.
David. David. Every time I watch you, ever, I get more each time, and tonight reminded me of a Malcolm X. Give a fuck more. And
You dress like you could shut your ass. Weird ass like you just sitting there smoking a cigar and admiring it. Brother Kim. Motherfucker dressed like one of he dressed like he's a hang out with your ass. Told you nigga 360 kick. Let's hear I say looking like Mrs. Doubtfire, man. Nigga, Robin Williams, for Beethoven, nigga. Y'all
David, I'd love you on the TV show, my 600-pound life.
I don't know, I noticed that women, sometimes when they have sex, they'll say the word fuck. They'll be like, fuck. And then I notice sometimes when women play tennis after they hit the ball, they're like, they did that in tennis. I wish they were like, fuck it.
doing that in my life, you know? Comedy. Yeah.
Hey, Dane.
Hey, Dane, yeah.
Hey, Dane.
My name's Kevin, but I don't like Kevin, so I took it out.
Why don't you like Kevin?
I don't know, I just don't like how it sounds.
Do you hate your mother?
It was actually my dad that picked it. I hate him, yeah.
You do hate your dad.
No, he's a good guy. Good dad.
Incredible. So you guys go out sometimes and do it together?
Mm.
You live?
I'm from there, but I moved here a couple months ago.
Oh, congratulations. You've been in Austin for 2 months. What do you love about Austin? Did your deaf father?
Oh, no, he's gonna visit soon, though. But, he's not here. Austin, I don't know, I just love
Truly one of the most depressing.
Well, there, you skip it, but
Yeah. No, I years ago that I would never go back to upstate New York. I do. I sometimes will see this. Is your dad really deaf, or is he kind of?
yeah, he deaf, like if there's a siren, then he's, you know what I mean?
Does he do stand up if he doesn't have the timing of the audience? Like it's train wreck.
So,
What happened?
mercury poisoning. Yeah. His brother went away to college and just threw in the room that my dad moved into. My dad,
So your uncle has had to deal with the guilt of making his brother never smoke. He made your that never came up in conversation. You never made a joke in this family This is your dealer. Your dealer was getting it from China.
That's right.
Right.
And he was like, the email's encrypted. You don't have to worry about it. Full time.
Wow.
They saw every email.
My goodness.
Wow. So yeah.
Wow. So when did they just show up to your door or something like that? Do you look like a cop? That happened to me.
Kind of scared.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked at all.
Yeah.
You could be a Lyft driver. ZipRecruiter Red Band is out here making dreams come true. How'd you get a DUI? Did they catch you? Like,
It was one of those days, where you start.
Dave?
To drive home at 11, following the rules of the road,
There you go. That's one way of putting it, sure.
The police, I didn't even get caught by the police. Like, I was driving so recklessly, a guy was like, I'm just gonna follow this guy and call the cops.
It's a rest. You know you're drunk when some guy's leaning out of his window like, what? You're fucked, bro! I'm gonna follow your ass all the way home.
Yeah, I was literally 1 minute from my bumper, and I got out of the car. I was like, dude. And then he did like 10 seconds, and he turned around. He was like, I'll just let pulled her out.
Right. K-Dane Willard, well, and congratulations on getting on the show. Anything else for K-Dane? You guys have? Here you go. You want one of these, K-Dane? It's a joke book. There you go. David winner, who's the Mias. We met this year.